Hi everybody, I'm Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, and welcome to the Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 70th, and the Bronx are fueled. It's time for the Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of Puppet Monkey and a wizard called Gandalf. Featuring the sounds of the Glastonbury Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon the Music Maestro. Let's get ready to Loco!
Exclusive Monday Club William Loud & Sons Palbrick Wagon is now available from Rails of Sheffield. Order yours now with confidence. A big hello to you. It is so great to see you. I hope I find you well. I am Jenny Kirk and I just inhaled my spit.
And I am Zoe Kirk Robinson, also known as the Puppet Monkey.
And it's great to see you, and oh hark, is that the ominous flappy sound of a tumble of clowns? It's a tumble of clowns. Oh,
are we starting as we mean to go on?
Yeah, there's a straggler, and he always has a trombone about his person. But then there's also Gandalf in the house. Thanks, Gandalf. That's a very insightful comment on the intercom. So we've got Francis Wadsworth, Samtec, Carlton Tweedle, GJ Trains, Harry Sedgwick, Flymo Chairman 1, Richard Swiderski, Leslie Gilpin Railways, Vobert Becking, Gordon Hanning, excuse me, Not So Salty Sea Dog, 3B Rail, Rick Morley, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, Sarah Davis. It says, you're not delivering truckloads of turnips. Oh, she always uses that, doesn't she?
I told you not to tell her that. I told you she was delivering 20 tons of turnips to Tesco.
Also, we have an initial spotting from Call Me Snake of the TARDIS in a wagon.
There's a wagon in a TARDIS.
Yeah, the Doctor's taking a lie down. I think somebody's put it in with the door downwards, so I don't think he's going to come out all night. Dion Wollaston, a big hello to you. Samuel Ives, Southern Train Girl, Trained Kits, etc. Joe Smith, Cormac Alton, Busby Junction. Who else we got? Robert Davies says, it's you. No, it's you. What do you mean it's me? No, it's you. Jerry BVR says 34 degrees in my train shed at the moment. This is one of the perils, and I had this when we had a layout out in the shed here, Bolton Trinity Road. If you go way, way back in the channel, you'll find that obviously the previous layout was out in my garden shed, and despite insulation, despite painting the roof with solar reflective paint, it was always very warm out there this time of year. So you have my sympathies. Been there, done that. I got the sweat-stained pits to show for it.
I hope you've washed since then.
Yeah, okay.
Dan, I have a question for you.
Do you?
Do you have a giveaway tonight?
Absolutely. And tonight, of course, if you may have seen this on social media, we have posted it out there, and thanks to the generosity of TMC here on the channel, we have a brand new, it has been out of the box, you may have seen it featured in the review, but we've got catalogue number 35175 if you're interested in looking up the precise specs. And this is one of the really quite great Bachmann ROD Rail Operating Division 280s as number 1918. Came out a little while ago. At the moment, TMC have them on sale, and it's a few pence over £16. And if you're in the UK, the price you see is the price you pay, because they have free postage over £100. So if you don't win tonight, then there is still an opportunity to get one at a really great price. Plus, they are offering their budget weathering, which was also reviewed in the video, and you will see actually just coming into view here. That's the budget weathering
It
version.
looks really good.
But we're going to be asking 3 questions, and the way we work with these is you have to be here live to win it. So if you're watching this on the rerun,
Well,
on the
first of all,
catch-up,
thank you for watching on the rerun.
yeah, we're here from 7 UK time.
But
just so you know.
it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, we can't, due to logistics, hold over the competition.
No,
So
we're
it has
gonna
to be done during the show.
we're going to pick the winner towards the end of the show. There'll be 3 questions asked, and at the moment the Cupboard Monkey is just typing into the chat how you go about doing this, and it's open to everybody in the chat live.
Yeah, I don't care where in the world you're coming
Yeah,
from.
we
I'll
will
send it to you.
we will post this overseas as well. Should an overseas viewer win, saying that, get to the post office. I need to post this to Turkmenistan. Yes, certainly. That would be £384,000.
I doubt it'll go anything over about 40 quid.
Yeah.
International parcel post costs.
Yeah, well, we'll sort it out. But there'll be 3 questions. TMC themed for 2 of them. Monday Club themed for the 3rd. And then don't just fire them off one at a time. Save them up. Don't put the answers in the chat, because otherwise, what's the point of having a conversation? A giveaway. I think somebody's encrypted my mouth. But there will be 3 questions. I will repeat the earlier questions later on as we go through, because some people do arrive late. Hey, oh, Gandalf! Look, I said if. Yeah, thank you, Gandalf, eager beaver. If they're late.
Okay, I need to answer.
No, I said if they're late. Oh my god.
Okay, I need to respond to a couple of statements in the chat. Peter Jackson, the answer is not Daypole. And
Yeah.
Melchester Model Railway, the first question is not how many tons of turnips did Jennifer deliver last week?
Absolutely. But yeah, all 3 questions together, send them to zoe.robinson@gmail.com with the subject line Loco Giveaway. And that just makes it a lot easier for the Cupboard Monkey to find your email. Make sure if it, for some reason, Gmail is very good at going, oh, a nice Nigerian general with $1 million to go. Oh, yeah, that must be genuine. But this person responding to the competition you're running, oh no, we'll put that in the spam folder. You know
I
what
will
it's
be
like.
checking both the spam and the regular, so don't worry.
And of course, a big thank you to TMC for very kindly putting this up for us to be able to do this. So, we'll give it a few minutes.
And a huge thank you to TMC.
Absolutely.
Huge! I can't get any bigger than that thumbs up.
Harry Sedgwick says, we've been at Hammond's Pond at Upperby Park, south of Carlisle. This event is Upperby Gala to celebrate the 100th event in bank holiday, included miniature railway train running from 1 till 4.
Nice.
Could you make the text ever so slightly larger? I'm afraid my...
Are you having a bit of trouble with your old eyes?
Trains, kits, etc. says, oh yeah, P.O. Box 1, Pyongyang. I'm not sure, can you actually post anything to North Korea?
I think it'll get intercepted and checked first.
Yeah,
I believe the correct address to send a stamped self-addressed envelope is 123 Fake Street, Buttox, Kent.
Okay.
Where did you find all those? Have they fallen off at the
Oh, they're being naughty. It keeps playing.
Had he really been naughty? Oh
Lifestyle
dear.
Unleashed says, as I have an online model shop, I shall exclude myself from the competition. You don't have to.
It's open to everyone.
Open to everybody.
The only people who can't take part are Jenny and myself.
Oh, now, interesting point that Call Me Snake has pointed out. So, Jenny, I think value weathering is currently free at TMC on the Rod 1918. That's even better. So, for £116 and a bit of change, you can get yourself that locomotive and
bad at all.
also get it value weathered. And if you look at the video, actually, the value weathering was pretty good. So if they're doing that for free, that's well worth getting. Quite durable as well. Sometimes with weathering, especially if you do them yourselves with washes or powders, they can be a little bit disliking of handling.
I've noticed that actually the cheapest weathering you ever got was by the police.
Yeah, CID weathering.
All those guys stole
and that wouldn't come off very well at all.
The stuff when they dusted it for prints.
Oh! Krista Duke says, "Sorry, I'm late."
A Monday clubber is never late, Krista. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Yeah, cheers.
Going a bit different there.
Trains, Kits, etc. says you can post in North Korea. They stopped accepting it due to COVID border restrictions, but otherwise, normally Royal Mail will accept and has to deliver with delivery partners. But Kim Jong-un might take a fancy to it and just take it. They're like that up there.
Up there, they're further south than we are.
Yeah, down there. Well, no, up there. If you go all the way over the top, round the other side and back up again, it's a globe.
I'm just going to move this a bit back because you keep maxing out the
okay.
microphone.
Call me Snake. Says if I don't win, I am sorely tempted. Apparently, actually, I spoke to TMC. They are selling really, really well, which is unsurprising at that price and a good price. Yeah, they probably have a blip. People, there's like these 2 hours where people stopped ordering them. It's like, yeah, because everybody's in it to win it.
Yeah.
A big hello to Walter Hope Valley Railway enthusiast. GWR Buckley Junction. Richard Knowles says, good evening. It seems I'm a little bit late. Oh, it's on the tannoy. Very thoughtful, Gandalf. Thanks for that. Don't you start Tumbler clowns passing through, and there's always one with... Well, it turns out there's two with a trombone. They only know one tune, though. Slow trombone.
Well, yeah.
Whiskey 2 Shots asks, has the giveaway started?
No, it's about to. What's the first question, my dear?
Okay, let's go with the first question. So we're coming up at about 30... Well, no, quarter past. Bloody heck, it goes quick.
Yes.
So the first question that you need to write down, don't send it in just yet. Write it down, keep it handy. For winning this Bachmann ROD locomotive is... Where was TMC first started? So when they started, and I think it was 1998, they were in a particular place, and we want to know where that particular place actually was. So there we are. The Cupboard Monkey has just put it into, just about to. There we go. So where was TMC located when they first started? So that's the first question. Don't put it in the chat.
Yeah, unless you want everyone to know the answer.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah. Wangok says, I've just ordered mine.
That's one way to make sure you get one.
Yes. That's one way to ensure that you get two, actually. It's a bit like the surefire way of finding something important. When you're looking around your house, you can't find it. Buy another. The original will turn up miraculously from nowhere.
I see you were looking for me.
John Copping says, time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. Big hello to Skipsy Trains, great to see you. And Aaron as well says, I was 3 minutes early.
Well done.
A Monday clubber is never early, Toto wagons, nor are they late. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks Gandalf. Alan Reynolds at Buckland Junction says, hi Jenny and Zoe, I'm watching from the loft while working on the layout.
Everyone says the answer to question 1 is Daypole.
SHGP Media says, definitely Daypole. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, of course it is.
Fine, okay. So let's work our way around the angles of the dangle.
But remember, we will be releasing the questions over the evening and then doing the
draw will come at the end.
Near the end. And we will repeat the question. So if you come in after the questions have been asked, We will be repeating them until we close the competition.
Ham Shackleton says, I don't know why, but Jenny's vid is running about 5 seconds behind the chat text on the side of my screen. I know why. That's the buffer. So we're running at about a 5-second buffer, because I think the chat actually goes up immediately. It just literally just refreshes just like that. But the video has a buffering time.
You can sometimes force it by trying to skip forward. It doesn't always work, but it can work. Melchester says that's a hard question. It is available on Google. I checked.
Yes, Dr. Google does take time out from diagnosing your medical issues to tell you the answers. Rick Morley says, what's the beverage of choice? Today's beverage of choice, and we're not actually sponsored by them, we're just drinking it,
It'll be
Diet
nice.
Coke. But the Coca-Cola Corporation, I believe, are they also responsible for the next beverage of choice?
Probably.
Yeah, Coca-Cola brings you Dr. Pepper Zero, so I've been working my way onto that. Larry Rogers says, what is that white loco that is running around the layout? White loco, what? Oh, that's, that is a Garrett. And,
It's about to come on the screen.
and Warbler Productions should be thanked for that. Very generously, actually, donated, they just dropped £225 on the super chat. Went, there you are, get yourself a Garrett. And then
That was
sent me a
amazing.
sound decoder for it.
So thank you very much.
Incredibly generous. Big thank you to Warbler Productions. I've not seen them in actually for a few weeks. Do hope they're all right.
Well, Wobbler.
Yeah.
Wobbler's right there.
Hey, what? Who?
Managed to check my answer for question 1, so it's not too hard to
Oh,
find.
hello, Warbler. Didn't see you there. So yeah, just say Warbler Productions very generously allowed me to buy the Garrett. Yeah, the Garthian Garrett, which I paid for when I was known as Garthian. Absolutely. Got it out and about. George asks, where do we send the answers? You did put it in the
I
chat,
did.
but if you send all 3 answers together, don't fire them off separately, otherwise your entry won't count.
Because I won't be able to tell whether you sent them all in.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way, it gets busy and I have to do all this
Absolutely.
live.
So the Cupboard Monkey's about to put that in the chat. So please email the answers to all 3 questions together to zoe.robinson@gmail.com with the subject line Loco Giveaway. Zantac says, I didn't need Google to diagnose my health issues on Tuesday.
Yeah, didn't you get hit with a lorry or something?
Did they? Oh.
You're in hospital. I'm glad to hear that you've got out again.
I'm glad
right.
you're on the mend. Never fun being in hospital.
No.
Yeah, but speaking from experience, never fun to be in hospital. David, it's my mother railway says send the answers to Dapo. They did complain about that, when we were there. They went, why are people sending us the answer is Dapo? At some point,
We had to explain it.
we should actually say to them, they should do a range of T-shirts where it just says the answer is Dapol.
Yes. You know what, Deadpool? You can have that one for free.
That one's free. We've got Peachy TT120. I already said hello at the beginning. Who is identifying as Peachy 00 tonight for purposes of
Peachy
potentially
1200.
for the purposes of potentially winning this that has been very kindly provided by TMC. Anyway, what's in the news? Well, we've had some interesting releases over the last week or so. In what?
I'm Jack didn't explain what happened to Zantek, and all I could see was he fell off the back of the lorry. Like, no, that's not.
Onto concrete and didn't bounce.
You know
Now,
the old saying?
can I
He fell
just
off the
say-
back of a lorry.
Yeah, can I just say, if that is actually really what happened, I again, you have my sympathies, because back in 2002, I broke my back by being knocked off the back of a lorry, and I landed on my head on concrete 6 feet down.
You've never been the same ever since.
Yeah, probably. And I ended up in hospital for a week, and it took me a while to be able to walk again.
Yeah, I
that
bet
was
it
quite
did.
nasty. So absolute sympathies. Warbler Productions says TARDIS behind the wagons in the yard next to the blue pal brick.
I was hoping it would blend. You guys have got.
He's got us on something like 120 inches of plasma. You know that. We're projected onto the side of a tower. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase.
Sorry about the dropout there, guys.
Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says, I went to Hereford Model Centre today. Yeah, I saw that you put a post up on Facebook. It said no more bargains outside the shop. No bargains as they were closed. Of course, it's been a bank holiday here in the UK. Harry Cedric says the Hatton's Hellion is LMS Bayer Garrett 260 plus 062 Grey Garrett. I've got one as well. It was number 4797 when in plain black livery. Yeah, I do like the Garretts, actually. They can be temperamental, although that one is, at the moment, touch wood, behaving itself. What's wrong? Why are we scrolling up?
Going back to get the question again. So
have you not actually just copied it to the buffer?
Servant.
Copy? And then you can just cut and paste every single time.
I could, but that's not going to happen.
Oh, Bo Minnick says, I broke my wrist tripping into my bus 2 weeks ago. Ooh, that does sound quite painful. I take it when you landed, you asked the driver, does this bus stop at the hospital?
It does now.
Larry Rogers says, holiday here in the US today as well. Oh, is it
nice.
a Memorial Day or something? Memorial Day?
I honestly couldn't tell you. So, guys,
hold on. Mike Langford says, joining a bit late. I live in Cusco, Peru. Highest altitude model railway enthusiast contender. I think it's 3,300 meters. That's
nice.
like 10,000 feet. That is a lot. And also, Paul Murphy, good to see you too. Again, and yes, we've got a double peril here.
Hey, Monday Clubber is never late. Toto Wagons. No, is he early? He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Always
I
on the
was
money.
doing an impression there. Could you tell who it was of?
Would that be an impression of Sir Ian McKellen?
I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me, because I have no idea.
Okay.
Good night.
Yeah. Smell you later, Gandalf, and we will do. God, it's been on the beans again. Larry Rogers says, yes, it's Memorial Day. SHGP Media says, I fractured my... It says L-box. I think that's meant to be elbow. After falling off my bike many years ago, due to hitting, of all things, a spud in the road. True story, that. That must have been, what was that
hitting
like?
A potato with a bike. Yeah, I can imagine that's going to be a problem.
I mean, like, how hard was that? How big was the potato? Right, anyway. So, anyway, I was just about to get on to what's new. Well, in the last week or so, the Rapido trains, 6-wheel, Southeastern and Chatham Railway brake vans, have started making an appearance. And these also include the Special Commission in the SRNI livery. I can't remember who's actually commissioned that. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it seems to want to stay there. And also, Rails of Sheffield have got 3 different versions of the single veranda version, including very early Southeastern Railway one. And then the main range ones should be available from any Rapido stockists. And we've got one actually bringing up the rear. The gear is in the rear. On at some point, there we are, just coming into view at the top of your screen. We have got that 6-wheel brake van. Now, it seems to be behaving itself on that track, but I did, during the review, I did highlight, have to be honest.
We always are honest. Jen, I'd love you, after you've talked about this, to explain your review scores.
Oh, yes. My notoriously generous, people say, review scores, but we'll come to that in a moment. Anyway, the Rapido 6-wheel brake van is bringing up the rear there in the post-1936 Southern Railway livery. And it's a lovely little van, actually. Really, really nice. And there's almost nothing for the end user to apply themselves. All the brake rigging is on there. It's just, I think, the docket label holders on the outside if you want to apply them. We've also had news of livery samples for the Liverpool and Manchester Railway Lion with the Tipfield Thunderbolt version, but then also what is actually my favourite version with the black frames and the green rest of it. Looks really
rest of it.
Yeah, it looks really quite nice actually. So quite looking forward to that. We've also, I think they showed off a running sample of the Jones goods. And moving on over to a Cura scale, we have also had an announcement of a new special edition from the exclusively from a Cura scale of the breakdown crane runner wagon in the form of the it's the Suburban coach, the Break Third, I think it is, which later on, some of them when they were withdrawn, were pressed into use firstly as Freightliner train brake vans, and then latterly, I think, a handful went into departmental use for use with breakdown cranes, and they're doing a model of one of them in the very, very striking, eye-catching yellow livery with factory applied worn roof finish. So basically modelling it with the canvas kind of worn out with marks and holes and stuff. Right.
So we're coming up to the middle.
Oh yeah, we need to do
hour,
right. So we're going to have a recap on the. This is going really quick, actually. Am I talking rubbish an awful lot of the time? The Rapido 1500s are looking fantastic too. Absolutely, Alex Pomeroy. Absolutely. Kirby Snake. Says Thunderbolt looks amazing. Livery is gorgeous. And Stanover Model Railway says the Rapido Southeastern Chatham Railway 6-wheel brake van looks great. I'm waiting for their Southern Railway 8-plank wagon to come out, and I will buy them both together. But just be warned that sometimes the Rapido wagons do sell out quite quickly, and it's a case of miss it, miss out. Now, back to our giveaway for this rail operation division Rod 280, which has very, very kindly been provided by TMC off the back of their the video we did about the sale on this item. They've got them on sale just a smattering over £116, and if you're in the UK, that's post-free. And I'm told they're doing free value weathering on them as well.
But we don't have that confirmed, we just heard that.
Yeah, but the first question was, where were TMC located when they first started? That was the first question. And the second question, can you remember what we decided?
Are you asking one about the locomotive itself, or are you asking the second one about TMC?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good one. So the second one, we're going to ask actually about the locomotive. Now, we've got here, it's the Rod 280. This is the version that was built during the First World War for the Rail Operating Division. The Railway Operating Division, to be their standard, like jack of all trades, heavy freight locomotive for operation pretty much globally in the sphere of war. A number of these after the war were bought and operated on railways, including the Caledonian Railway, the London and North Western Railway, the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, and these passed into LMS, LNER, the GWR had a load of them. But which railway company did the design originate with? So the essentially the Railway Operating Division chose a design of locomotive that already existed and went, that's it, we'll make more of those. Which railway company originally designed this locomotive? So the Rail Operating Division 280, available from Bachmann as the 35-175 is the catalogue number. TMC have on sale for a shade over £116. But which railway company originally designed and built the first of these locomotives.
Yeah. So I'll put that out as question 2. Which railway company originated the design for the
Yeah,
Road
that's much more succinct.
Yes, I'm trying to keep things succinct. So we've had a few questions. Any more TT120 reviews, Jenny or Zoe? Yes. Check on JK2. That will be where we do them.
Oh, you're gonna have we put out a video with those kits or like the?
We've done the kits. I'm hoping to be able to get hold of a Gronk fairly soon. It'll depend on cash, basically.
Yeah.
But also, I want to get printed on nice card that thing that came from the magazine, the club magazine. I'd like to do a review of that.
Ben Davis says went to the Bachman show. I think was this the Practically Perfect sale that was open to Collectors Club members, of which I don't know why I was looking at that camera over there. Collectors Club members, which I am actually a member, but couldn't go. It was held at the Great Central Railway, but they picked up GWR 94XX and GWR Green, plus a BR Black J72 from the Bachman Collectors Club, plus the Class 66 NHS one, and the Class 150 altogether for 500 quid. Not bad. Actually, for all of those, that is actually a pretty good price. When you think that the J72, you're generally finding them coming in at about £115. The 94XX as well would be, they're pretty good prices. Tim Marsden says, hello everyone, bit late tonight.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf, for that insightful and deep, because we're uploading a lot of data.
We're going to have to change ISP. Sorry, guys, we don't dropped out there, but we're back.
We're suspecting that it's ISP related. So I think that we really do need to change our ISP.
Yeah, it's happening this month.
And then if it happens again, we'll know it's not the ISP.
But either way, we need to change.
They never used to do this. Never used to do this.
No, and then all of a sudden we got a lot of work going on in the area.
Yeah,
I think someone's broken something.
I don't know. 80 pulling, gone again. Call me Snake. Buffering. Hyrian says no sound. You might have me on mute because nobody else has said anything.
Don't tell me that there's no sound. I get worried.
Hyrian says 0 for 2.
What's happened?
What?
Something's come off.
No, it hasn't.
Can you not hear that?
Oh, it's the Rapido brake van. Having heard that I was saying, well, it seems to be behaving itself today, has decided, no, I'm going to come off the track. So if I go to camera 1, we might just be able to catch this thumping round on the sleeper.
It's a naughty little wagon.
But that guard is having his teeth rattled. There's all his fillings will fall out. So I'm just watching it come round. I'll scoop it off.
Sarah Davis says, I've had similar problems for about 4 weeks. Phoned them up yesterday, it was magically sorted.
Funny that.
Yeah, that is funny.
Okay, well, contact Virgin Media and say, why do you keep messing about?
Yeah. I'll just phone them up and say, hey,
It's really smooth running, actually. So
take care, Francis Wadsworth. Thanks for coming along.
Absolutely, been great to have you along. Rick Morley says, Scottish News, Perth Model Railway Exhibition, Saturday and Sunday, June the 24th and 25th, 40 layouts, 35 trade stands, and it's a tenner to get in. Tim Maslin says, can I ask what oil people use to cure wheel squeak? A couple of my wagons have developed a squeak. You need something that is fairly light and won't actually degrade plastics, things like that. So, one of the things that I use is this stuff called nano oil. It's actually sold for lubricating guns. And ironically, Americans out there might find it easier to get hold of.
I'm just going to pop downstairs and check on the heat on the router.
Okay.
You never know.
So basically, it's gun oil that I'm using, but you can also use sewing machine oil is another good one. Don't use WD-40.
Don't use cod liver oil?
No. WD-40 don't use because it leaves a film, and it can also attack some of the printing. SHGP Media says, I like this one, I use the tears of my enemies. Leslie Gilpin Railways suggests shaver oil. Sarah Davis says, how high is your router? I've noticed the higher it is in the air, the better signal you get. We're on a wired network. We do not entrust the stream to wireless. In fact, the only devices that are using wireless in the house are phones and tablets. Everything else is on a wired connection. When we moved in here, we had the entire house wired with what we thought, hey, look at us, we're really ahead of the curve, with Cat5 Ethernet cable. Didn't know that there's now Cat 6 and Cat 7. How were we to know? But so it means our Ethernet LAN is not as fast as it could be, but certainly more than fast enough for dealing with live streaming and stuff. DL Warren says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. But I think there's a Gandalf on the tannoy. So there we are, Gandalf phasing through time. Michael Langford says, LaBelle for me. Flymer Chairman 1 says, yes, wired here too. See, I'm old. I hate this new. I hate new tech. Still playing my vinyl records, still buy them very occasionally. Driving a car from 1996, and I like my computers to be on the end of a cable. I love a cable that you can just shove into a network card and away you go. Paul Wood says, I use Cat 8 Ethernet cable. Cat 8. They're really coming on in leaps and bounds. Cat 5 just seemed to be the standard for an awfully long time. And then they've gone, Cat 6, no, Cat 7, no, we'll have Cat 8.
If you're using Cat 9, though, it means you're a pirate.
Yarg, arg, yarg. How am I supposed to eat this and do the Monday Club at the same time?
Well,
Ice cream. Oh,
you scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Yes. I scream, you scream, the whole system screams. This is intriguing. So, talk to the nice people.
Yes. As far as oil goes, looks like they're all used for RC cars.
Absolutely.
That could
Anything
work, yeah.
that's designed for small things with lots of plastic and metal parts. You don't want it too thick, otherwise it itself will cause issues. Now, shall we have a recap on the questions? So, question 1, where did TMC originally start? Back in 1998, where was TMC located when they first started? So it's a particular location. They had a shop there, and then later on they moved, obviously. Question 2 was which railway company originated the design for the ROD 280, which is the model. Try not to get any ice cream on the box.
Yeah, please don't do that.
So this is the model that TMC have very kindly provided for tonight's giveaway.
Thank you so much, TMC.
Absolutely. So brand new in the box, only been out for filming as part of last week's video. Originally, the design came about for a particular railway company.
I had a feeling you were about to say it
and was adopted by the ROD. So who are they? If you want to send your answers to those questions to...
Plus the third one that we haven't done yet.
To zoe.robinson@gmail.com and put, what was it, Loco Giveaway in the subject title.
Yep.
Just help to find it. Dongit's Mother Railway says, box now with extra weathering, ice cream.
Now, I love this one that we just had there from Jerry BVR. That's a weird looking microphone you have there. I would love a microphone that looks like an ice cream cone. That would be so cool.
Can you imagine that? Politicians resisting the temptation to lick it.
Oh, So it's been a hot day, but I think we've had an interesting weekend, haven't we?
Absolutely. Stanover Model Railway, big hello to you. Ben Davis says, yes, Jenny was back when practically hoping next year to get Class 144BR West Yorkshire Public Transport Executive Metro, Class 158, in the same livery in Class 150 in the regional railway version of grey and blue. Ben Davis says, see some of the good deals on Hattons. Hattons, of course,
Hattons have got a fair few sales going
They're having a huge stock clearance on second hand. Although, interesting to see, Charlie over at Chadwick Model Railway did put out an interesting video about issues with description of items that are supposed to be DCC fitted but aren't, I think it was. Ooh. So just be wary on the descriptions. Marin 49, big hello to you. Wardle Road. Oh, hold on. Absolutely, Gandalf. But Wardle Road, nice to see you there. Tim Maslin says DCC ready, but didn't come with the circuit board. That was it. I knew there was something to do with DCC.
How's that DCC ready if it's not got the circuit board?
That's like saying I've got a toaster. It's DCC ready if you replace all the electronics. Wobbler Productions says TARDIS just inside tunnel portal on the
I'm
inside. I'm
amazed you can see it. It's behind the chat.
Clive Cobalt says 99, please, Jenny. Hey, that was in the news. Cadbury's have whoever the parent company is, they've moved production of the 99 Flake to Egypt, and apparently the quality is rubbish. They're all just coming all broken apart in the boxes, so you can't stick them in ice creams, which kind of negates the whole point of buying a catering box of 99 Flakes for ice creams.
Oh my goodness.
If you can't actually fit them in there.
What's the point? We've had a question there from Mike Langford. Is the giveaway UK only? No, it's not. I'll send it wherever.
We will post worldwide. We're saying that tentatively. There's a little asterisk that says, unless postage is so hideously expensive we can't afford it.
I doubt it's going to happen now. So I'm going to put the 2 questions into the chat again. It is coming up at 7:45, so at 8 o'clock we will ask for the final question. So at the moment, question 1 is...
I was about to give the final question.
You want to give the final question?
Okay.
Okay.
So, your final question. So we've got question 1, where was TMC located when they first started? Question 2, which railway company originated the design for the Rod 280? And the third question is, which preserved railway is closest to TMC? I've decided to go for that because it's just a bit easier. That I don't think anybody would get the question that we were talking about earlier on. So, third question is, which preserved railway is TMC closest to? Ben Davis says, Jenny, just ordered the Rapido brake van in SRNI brake. Yeah, it's a special commission. You have to. It's a locomotive group, I think, that's done it. But did somebody say who? No, I'm looking in the chat. Nobody's told me yet. The Cupboard Monkey's just about to put in the details there. So please email the answer to all 3 questions together to zoe.robinson@gmail.com with the subject line Loco Giveaway. That's just to make sure we can find it. Right, so all 3 questions have now been asked.
In the ether.
So, I'll let you start putting the names in the hat.
Yes, please email all your answers to all 3 questions together, please, to zoe.robinson@gmail.com, and if you put the subject line Loco Giveaway, it will make it so much easier for me to find it.
Absolutely, and then we will pull a name out of the hat who will be the lucky winner.
SHGP Media. Boom! All answers sent. All day, Paul. Love it.
J. Paul Anderson says, where to send answers? We've just literally put it in the chat.
Yes, but he'd have been typing that while I was cutting and pasting. So,
Robin Slewer says, my birthday is in June. I'm going to be 37 years old.
thanks for making me feel old, dude. You young whippersnapper.
Ben Davis says, Jenny, I know TMC, but not going to say as I don't want the train.
That's fair enough.
Well, okay.
That's actually a really good thing.
That's very generous, actually, because
Yeah.
that then increases the chances for other people.
Yeah, that's generous. Thank you.
So Alex Pomeroy says, answers sent, good luck all. Absolutely. So it's very hot up here. If you're thinking, that's very rude of them eating ice creams on camera, then it's just we're really, really hot.
How is it rude to
Not like
eat-
as in they're like, success. Just hot.
Yeah, we're just warm. I'm not generous. I want the train. If you want the train, get in, get your answers in. Come on.
Absolutely. Zantek says, on the ward I was in, I was half the age of two of the people in my room. It does
I have
happen.
had that so many times. Whenever I'm in hospital for my various illnesses, there's always someone there that goes, "You're too young to be here." My response was always, "But I am here."
Talk to the nice people.
It's just how it is. You get a wide variety in hospitals. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have the 3 questions. And if you answer them, if you answer me my questions 3, then you could win a loco. Hee hee. There you go. It rhymed. I had to
And
force
can I
it by anything
say,
else.
anybody who says the answer is Daypole 3 times, you're paying the postage to get it to the winner.
No, not really.
Not so salty Sea Dog says answers sent. Now for some reason I'm craving an ice cream.
Oh, can I
Interesting.
just say, by the way, if you're sending your answers in,
Yeah.
you don't have to send your address along with the answers. I will contact you if you win. That's in that
Yeah.
way it doesn't
That
cause
way we don't know where you all live.
yeah, it doesn't cause any issues with GDPR or data protection or anything like that. But if you have sent your answers in, just be rest assured, please, that I will delete everything after the competition. Also Hope says, adverts do me nappering. Nearly a minute to get back into the live stream. What happened?
We had 2 unskippable adverts, one after the other.
Yeah, but if he's saying get back into, did you have to leave the live stream to come back in, or has the YouTube started putting stuff in while we're on?
I'm assuming that they had to change devices or something.
Let's hope it's all right. Jenny, Tomica recently announced some Kickline-themed diecast vehicles. You mentioned that last week. I do like diecast, but it's getting expensive these days. Making stuff out of metal. Oof.
Well, how much are they?
Just anything made diecast these days is pricey. It bumps the price up so much compared to everything else. Looks good though, lasts.
Everything's pricey these days.
That's true.
Tim Maslin asks, is that the Acura Scale Siphon G coach in the middle of the screen? No, it's not actually.
Where is the Acura Scale Siphon G?
I had to send them all back. They were loaners.
Oh, of course, yeah, they
We've
were
talked about this before. People think it's all like, oh, look at all these freebies. Yeah, well, they had to get sent back because they were loaners, like a lot of stuff is.
That's it. Oh, a lot of people think that Jen gets a lot of freebies, but what actually happens, and this causes a lot of trouble for me because I'm the admin side of things. Jen stays in front of the camera and I do all the legwork. So stuff arrives and it's like, can you pass it on to X, Y, and Z when you're finished? Yeah, sure, we can. That's what Jen says. Then I have to drag it down the post office to send to the next one, the next person in the line.
So there's a lot of people sending the answers. Mike Langford says postage is really expensive. I buy from Evil Bay often. Ben Davis says, do you think Jenny Hattons is going to do batch 3 of the coaches as Hornby has done the SDJR Blue? What do you think of the Hornby SDJR Blue coaches? Yeah, that was the other bit of news. I was wondering, as I was watching the coach do the rounds on the back of one of the trains, and it will come into view at some point, as the, is it South Foreland? It's one of the H2 Atlantic with the Western region coaches. On the very back, you'll see a Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway 6-wheel brake third. I think Hattons will still do theirs. Duplication has not stopped them from doing any of the other liveries that they proposed. The Genesis coaches have sold really, really well. In fact, in most instances, they have now sold out. And certainly, some of them were sold out to pre-order. Sleeper Hit, those LMS ones, I couldn't get any. I did have offer to buy the, again, loaner sample. But they went, no, we can't sell you it because we don't have any more spare. So really hard to get. And it's like I always say, if there's a livery that is a must-have item for you,
you've got to order
in this day and age, unfortunately, you've got to get your orders in.
Jen,
yes?
can I ask you a question?
Okay, yes, I think you should.
Can you explain why your ratings on your reviews are often so high?
Yeah, people ask me about this. They say, oh, you're like super generous. Why do you give them such high scores? And it's because mine are a deductive system of scoring. So if something has nothing that I can specifically say this is wrong with it, it logically gets full marks. I think that this is a much fairer way of grading different items, because if you have an adductive system, it becomes far too subjective. So by having a deductive, which basically means I start at full marks and take stuff off, I have to justify everything that I take marks off for. And once you understand that, you realise that actually my scores aren't necessarily as generous as you might think. Because, when something's scoring like 7 out of 10, what it actually means is that there's quite a few little faults I've picked up on. I just feel it's far less confrontational, far less subjective, and gives people a real world understanding of what is really wrong with it rather than perceived slights, if that makes sense. So that is Warbler Productions, thank you. Additive, not adductive. Yeah, I know I can't talk properly.
Hey, if she wants to add some ducks, that's fine.
We haven't got a duck on the soundboard. I think we should. The closest we've got is that Tumble of Clowns can offer you this.
I'm going to take that off you. Okay, I'm going to pop downstairs.
Yes.
To get the hat.
Yes, we're
the
going to
notorious hat.
The hat. And I can't find my green fingers somewhere downstairs as well.
Good. So I am going to now, before I go and get the hat, just repeat into the chat what all of the questions are.
Yeah. I can give you a red flag.
I don't want a red flag.
We've got a red flag here. Red flag, everybody.
It's a red flag situation.
Yes, so the questions are going back into the chat. We will pick them out in...
we'll pick them out about 8:30.
Yeah, about 8:30.
I'm just going to grab all of the
Ben Davis says, Jenny just ordered the Rapido brake van in SRNI. Where'd you get it from, by the way? Oh, I'm reading old comments.
Yes, you are.
Stanover Model Railway says, hi Jenny, my real name is Mark, but I'm also known as Captain Static by your good friend PVA J-Cloth.
Oh, that's who Captain Static is.
Captain Static, do. He's the one who says...
The colour on Jenny's camera is definitely off. Jen looks green. Okay, let's see if I can change that with... Nope.
It's a different kind. That is strobing something bad.
Yes, it is.
Warbler Production says, yesterday's F1 race in Monaco was the first one of the season with no red flags. A very rare event at Monaco. There never used to be a lot of red flags. Maybe they've just become more of it, because I thought red flag is where they stop the race for some reason. But was it 1995 or 1996 Monaco Grand Prix? Still one that I rate as being one of the best Grand Prix ever run, and that was televised. There was no red flag, despite the fact I think only 5 people finished.
If you could read out the questions again, just remind people.
Right, so question 1. Where was TMC located when they first started? Question 2. Which railway company originated the design for the ROD 280? And question 3. Which preserved railway is closest to TMC's current location? Please email the answers to all 3 questions together. That is important. If you send them in dribs and drabs, your entry will not be counted. To zoe.robinson@gmail.com with the subject line Loco Giveaway. Colton Tweedle says, plus no safety car. Now, safety cars never used to be a very common thing. Now, I was actually quite surprised they even had a safety car, 20, 30 years ago. They did, but you almost never saw it. Ben Davis says, do my workout, Jennifer, but going to listen to who? I think, is that me? To you. Sarah Davis says, didn't only 4 or 6 cars start in Indianapolis F1 race a few years ago? Yeah, that was the notorious, it was Bridgestone, and I can't remember whether it was Pirelli or Dunlop. It may have been Pirelli. There was an issue with sidewall failure on the tyres in extreme high-speed corners, which anybody knows the Indianapolis F1 track. It's actually the Brickyard, which normally used for IndyCar races, but it has a banked corner that F1 used, and it meant that the cars were going through something like 200 miles an hour with lateral load. And because the organisers refused to put in a chicane for safety reasons, I think it was the Pirelli runners said, well, we're not racing. Ben Tullett says, F1 isn't as good as it used to be. Yeah, I know. I don't even watch it anymore. I will be going to see a decent motorsport event after next week in Le Mans, France. 24 hours of non-stop racing. I used to be an avid watcher of F1. And, to be honest, since they made it harder and harder, hid it behind paywalls, just not interested. Absolutely just not interested. I have got a very extensive collection of recordings that I made over the years, going back to, I think, 1992. So fairly ropey VHS recordings that have since been transferred to computer. But right through to, I think, up to and including maybe 2014, 2015 is when I stopped bothering. But I've got somewhere in the region of 100 Grand Prix recorded. And I just like going back and watching a classic Grand Prix as if it's live. Jerry BVR says, Hamilton put me off F1 a few years back, even though I watched since the 70s. For me, it was the cash-grabbing nature of Bernie Ecclestone and the way he was running it.
Has Jen explained how she watches these Grand Prix yet? Well, the first thing that happens is they go for the start, and then immediately Jen starts running on the spot along with the car. She goes like, hey,
careful, that'll go through really, really loud through the...
She runs on the spot. She gets so into it, she's like she's there trying to keep up with the cars.
It's like I've got Fred Flintstone's car and I'm trying to keep up with the pack.
It's lovely and adorable to see.
Zantek says, can't recall when I last watched F1, but it was back when we had proper screamer engines. See, I remember the days of the V8s, the V12s, and then the first season with the V10s, the Renault V10 that just absolutely dominated the field. Oh! Somebody's late. James Wheeler! James Wheeler says, sorry, I'm late! Sorry, I'm...
Oh, here he is.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Right, I need you to check these answers, Jen.
Jerry BVR says, Jenny drives in 1990. No, in 1996. NREG. Right, so what's this?
I need you to tell me if those are right.
Correct.
Peter
No.
Jackson.
Peter Jackson, Sheila Heath, you got question 3 wrong.
You can, of course, try again.
Your name will only go into the hat once, so don't just keep sending the same 3 answers over and
But
over
if we
again.
say that, I'm going to say whenever someone's got them correct, that your name is in the hat.
Yeah. Southern Train Girl says, I don't get a choice. I have to watch the F1. My dad loves the F1. I used to. Jennifer Horton, now that is interesting. F1 celebrity railway modeler Riccardo Patrese with his Marklin collection.
Could you please write the third answer, correct answer down, because I don't know it. You changed the question.
Talk to the people.
Jen is just writing, and I've just realised I've handed Jen my favourite pen, which is a fountain pen.
I'm a fountain pen
to
killer.
Jenny, the pen destroyer. So
Ooh.
now I'm back, and my heart is in my throat. So what's going on?
Ben Davis says, but Jennifer, do you know what's going on with Hornby with the R30234 Caledonian single 422 train pack with the 123 in CR blue and the 2 CR coaches?
Is that some kind of code?
It is, yes. It's been cancelled, I believe, due to issues with tooling. I think it's the issue with the tooling of the coaches. So whether they may put out the Class 1, 2, the CR 123 and Caledonian Railway Blue. What's wrong?
Have we made these too
what?
too difficult?
No,
These
no.
questions.
Why? Is that the only right answer?
No. Question 2.
Question 2 is correct. Yes, sorry, that is the correct answer. I falsely you hadn't put any in the hat, had you?
No.
Oh, so Peter Jackson, was it Peter Jackson, Sheila Heath? You got question 2 wrong as well.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So that one's correct.
Okay.
Okay. Mike Langford, your name is in the hat.
So this is our correspondent from Peru, is it?
Yes.
So the ROD could be going to Peru,
But we don't know yet.
but we don't know, and it's all down to
Mike Langford, your name is in the hat.
it's in the hat. Ben Tullett says BTCC touring car racing has always been great to watch as well. Watch pretty much all the races either on TV or at some of the racing circuits they race at. I'll be honest, I don't really do motor racing anymore. Sorry, we were talking
B-Bell,
about...
I'm sorry to say, question 2 is incorrect, but if you want to try again, that's fine.
What have they put for question 2?
London and North Western.
No, yeah,
I
that's
know.
wrong.
I know it is, because I've got all the answers written down here.
And trains, kits, etc. I totally agree with you. To be honest, that Caledonian Railway single needs new tooling, crying out for one. Same with Lord of the Isles, and yeah, the Achilles class, the GWR Achilles class. What?
Question 3. I don't know where that is. That's not the one, is it?
No, because it's a very specific preserved railway. They're
Dave
literally next to it.
Dave Baker, I'm sorry to say, question 3 is wrong. But you are, of course, welcome to try again.
Can we put the questions that people are asking?
Yes, of course we
again?
can. Of course we can.
So put them up in one post, so you can just cut and paste and repost from time to time.
Questions 1 and question 2 are there.
Brad Mundo says, "Hi, I'm worried I've got some wrong now. I hope my
Question 3
Googling
is
is up to stuff." It's what we'll let you know if you got it wrong. Steve Bull says, "I'm sorry, I'm a bit late, everyone." Thanks, Gandalf. Raymond Anthony 127 says, "Just got here. What did I miss?"
All the questions.
We are having a giveaway for this, courtesy of TMC. Very, very kindly have supplied one of their ROD 280s as number ROD 1918, which is a Bachmann model. This is brand new. It's only been out of the box for filming of the review last week.
Brad Mundo, your name is in the box, and then in the hat even.
And we're doing a giveaway courtesy of TMC, who have this on sale at the moment for a few pennies over £116. UK post free, because any order that's over £100 is UK post free. Not sure how it works if you're overseas. You'll have to check. And they're currently offering free value weathering on this as well. If you order that at the time of buying, and the value weathering, really good.
It's
this
amazing.
model here, and you can see it in the full video, but that is one with the value weathering. So
Kevin McAllendon, your name is in the hat.
Peachy TT120 says, I switched from F1 to TT120. More overtaking in TT. Oh, hold on.
Pete Jackson, I'm sorry, question 2 is still wrong.
Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says, just wondering, is my name in the hat or not? Excuse me. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. I think that's Simon Cool.
I'll find out. I don't worry. I will be looking through. What kind of hat am I in? All of them are going into a rather deep Stetson that I got from Pride a couple of years ago.
Yes.
It's the only hat that I've got on hand that is actually quite firm.
Apparently, Southern Train Girl says, why is Jenny orange? Because the camera is not very good that we're using.
Jenny's not orange. We're under...
People said it was green.
We're under a kind of yellowy light, and Jen is very sunburnt. She's not orange.
Oh, yeah.
Just a mixture of colours.
There's been this golden shiny thing in the sky for a few days, and I was like, wonder what that is.
The Great Geraldo. Your name is in the hat.
A lot of people saying, bless you, Gesundheit. Yeah, I sneeze loud. My mum does as well. Sarah Davis says, Jenny is orange because she's really from Essex.
Stephen Turner, I'm sorry to say that question 2 was wrong, but you are, of course, welcome to give it another try.
That's interesting, because I thought that it was common knowledge round our way.
What's wrong?
No, sorry, I thought you were going to say something. Twistleton 1944 GWR. Good to see you. I haven't seen your name in the chat, so I think you get a Gandalf.
Andrew McDonald, your name is in the hat.
Charlie Chimp says, your name is on the list.
What is your name? Don't tell him, Fry.
No, it's Pike.
Pike it is, yes, I'm thinking Fry.
Yeah, it's the infamous Don't Tell Him Pike.
I got mixed up.
And Leslie Gilpin Rowers says, LOL, question 2 is actually the only one I know the answer to. We got told off last time we did a giveaway for making the questions too easy. So I've actually, I haven't made them impossible. There's no point in having a competition where nobody gets the right answer. And it's like, oh, well, I think I'll keep it for myself then.
Joe Smith, unfortunately, question 2 is wrong, but you are welcome to try again.
It seems to be...
this is the one that you added in, and you changed it. Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Hooray.
I think it's the ISP, you know.
I think they're trying to get rid of us.
Oh, David J says, I think I might have just purchased the very last Dapol O-Gauge Great Western Class 57XX. Hatton's had one with no sound, so it went to Olivia's Trains for a loco sound install, and sounds great.
My goodness.
Brilliant. The pannier from an O-Gauge from Dapol really is great. I've got 2 of them myself.
Dave Baker, your name is in the hat.
Southern Train Girl says, they're doomed. Doomed, I tell you.
Doomed.
Yes.
Doomed.
And Corporal Jones, what do you have to say on the matter? Don't panic, Mr. Manning. Oh, stupid boy. Peter Jackson Cheadle, he says, just tried again, 4th time. Oh dear.
Okay.
Jerry
here we go.
BVR says it's Virgin on the ridiculous.
Christopher Matthews, your name is on the hat. In the hat, even, not on the hat. I almost said your name is on the list.
Don't tell him, Pike. Aaron says, Zoe, when are we going to see you building your N-Gauge live and on which YouTube channel? Well, it'll be on JK2, won't it?
Will.
So don't forget that we've got JK2, which is our second channel. And that's going to be the home of things like that.
Of all the stuff that I do, because I can't get a look in on Jen's.
Raymond Anthony 127. Is it a Stetson hat there? Is that actually?
It is a Stetson, yes.
It is a Stetson.
It's a Pride Stetson, though.
Yeah, it's one that we use in defiance of the deceitful and nasty law that Uganda has just brought in. Yes.
There's always one, and it's usually there.
Yeah, sometimes.
Mark Johnson, your name is in the hat.
Yes. H&H Express Model and Scale Trains asks, how can I enter the giveaway?
Okay, we'll do the
Put the
questions and
questions.
the info again. That's not
So,
a problem.
we've got a giveaway courtesy of TMC for a brand new ROD 280 locomotive. This is made by Bachmann, and it was featured in last week's video. And TMC very kindly have let us give this away rather than us sending it back. They said do a giveaway, so that is what we're doing. We've answered. So we've asked 3 questions. So question 1 was, where was TMC located when they first started? Question 2 was, which railway company originated the design for the ROD 280? So essentially, the ROD took on an existing design for their heavy freight locomotive. They built hundreds of these, but before them, a railway company built these. Now, later on, those original locomotives passed to the LNER. That's the only clue I'm going to give you. It does seem to be, and LNER is not the answer.
Railway Operating Division is also not the answer, because that's coming up a few times. So
Yeah.
if you've put it as your answer to question 2, Railway Operating Division, it's not right.
Yeah, there's a particular pre-grouping railway company that their chief mechanical engineer designed and built these, and then the Rail Operations Division went, we need a heavy freight locomotive, so we will have a look at all the designs all the different railway companies are already making. We've got, actually, that's perfect for what we want, so we're going to take that design and we're going to build loads of them. So I'm just actually looking on the back of the box.
Your name is in the hat.
It doesn't actually tell you on the back of the box.
I know, but it is
Oh,
on...
yes, it does.
Oh, there you are then.
Yeah, so the original was designed in 1911, so 3 years before the First World War. And yeah, it actually tells you on the back of the box, so I know I am correct. PEB Productions, no, we don't need you to name the Chief Mechanical Engineer as well. That is not necessary. All we need is the name of the railway company where he worked. Partick Hill Station says, hello one and all from a 27-degree Toronto. I think it's been pretty hot here as well, actually, today. Anfield Road layout in the loft says, hi train gang. There's some late arrivals here. Thanks, Gandalf.
Karen Nickel, your name is in the hat.
You're going on the list.
There's a few names in the hat.
Right, anyway, so whilst we're doing that, let's have a look. What is
Gordon Hanning, I'm sorry to say, answer 3 is not correct, but you can, of course, try again.
I'm curious what they put.
Esqually. A few people have.
Has the place renamed itself? That one's come up a few times. So
Yes.
let me just double check whether that's also a name for, right, so let's have a look. Come
That's
in.
okay. Okay, so I'm going to say as well, Rob from Withen Model Railway, your name is in the hat. I'm going to stop putting them in front of the screen because there we are. Actually, I'll just keep putting them in front of the screen. I think people like that. J. Paul Anderson, I haven't got down to you yet, but I'm having a look through.
Yeah, people who are putting Esk Valley Railway, I'll tell you now, it's not that. So, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I just looked up what the Esk Valley Railway is, and I now realise why people are putting it, but it's wrong. Aaron asks, how many rods were built for the war, Jenny? I saw your review of it on YouTube. It was about 500 or so, I think. Does it tell me on the back of the box? First order for 223 locomotives, second for 100, and a third for 188. So that's 2, 3, 4, just over 500. And interesting enough, 3. I said in the review that 2 were preserved in Australia, but actually 3 are preserved in Australia. So any Australian viewers watching, this is a perfect locomotive for you.
I'm sorry to say, J. Paul Anderson, I don't see your... Oh, I do see your answer. You have... your email has got through, don't worry.
Ah, but did they get the answers correct?
Yes, he did.
So J. Paul Anderson, you're going in the hat. Yeah, Rick Morley says 600-ish. 531 says, call me Snake. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, Brad Mundo says, I believe Stetsons were made by a Londoner that moved to the western USA and hated their hats with small brims. Warbler Production says Trilby hats were developed in Atherstone in the 1700s before the US cowboy style was created.
Wow.
At the time, they were not known as Trilbys, but the design stayed the same ever since. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I'm lagging well back here.
Okay, I'm going to say we're going to close the contest at about past.
And Aaron... Yes, there is also one surviving locomotive in the UK. However, the locomotive which survives was technically not an ROD one, but it was actually built by that original railway company, later becoming, I think it was BR number 63601. And that is preserved by the National Railway Museum. And Twistleton 1944 GWR says, Jenny, Zoe did a great job last week. Absolutely, she did. So we're really grateful for that. Sarah Davis asks, are we doing videos tonight?
No, we're doing the contest. Well, I can't do videos and this at the same time. Pioneer YH1, your name is in the hat.
Well, we're going to do the draw at past.
That is true, so we might get a couple of videos.
Well, that's the cut-off point. If you send your entry in after past, it will not be counted.
Yeah.
But unlike TV-based competitions, you won't be
actually
charged.
Tell that.
So yeah, you won't actually be charged.
David Keeling, your name is in the hat.
Yeah, and Flymo Chairman won absolutely no answers in the chat.
Yeah, it just makes it silly.
Yeah. Trains, kits, etc. says 1 is cosmetically restored, 2 are sitting in a field, basically. And that's the state of the Australian ones. And they are genuine ROD ones. Brad Mundo suggests the Rod 280 was made by the DGR Dapol Global Railway. Caroline Rogers says, don't know if my answers came through to you or not. Particle Station says, what entry? We're doing a giveaway.
Jerry BVR, your name is in the hat.
Aha. Didn't it? Was it Joey V? One of the last locomotive giveaway we did, the locomotive went to Ireland.
I don't know.
Was it Jerry BVR or somebody else? Is the person who won the little puggy poo in tonight? I can't remember who we sent it to, but we had a giveaway and we did send that one to Ireland. Right. So
TMC are not located next to Dipple.
Right. So what's running? Well, we've got that rod number 1918 is running on the outermost tracks. So let's just see if I can bring that up. So the Garrett's going past in LMS photographic grey. There is the ROD 280. That's with the value weathering from TMC. They've currently got that on offer. £116 and a bit of change. post-free in the UK. You'll have to check how it works for overseas. And they are offering free value weathering on
Southern
that.
Train Girl, your name is in the hat.
You're going on the list. So yeah, Southern Train Girl, you've just gone in the hat. Alan Pollock, big hello to you. Hi guys, big hello to you. That's a Gandalf moment. Thanks, Gandalf. So what else is running? You've just seen D5054 Class 24 in BR Green and the grey roof going past on the top level.
Samuel Ives, your name is in the hat.
Samuel Ives. Alan Pollock says, I've missed all the news. Wasn't a huge amount. A lot of Rapido news. They've showed samples of the Tipfield Thunderbolt set, the Lion as well. I really do like that livery that they did with the... It's got the black frames and the slightly darker green trimmings. And I thought that that was better than the Tipfield Thunderbolt version. We've also had, just recently released, the Southeastern and Chatham Railway 6-wheel brake van.
Eddie Papa, your name is in the hat.
And of course we put out our video of that on Friday. Holy snake. It says, do you have any military rolling stock, Jenny? Odd bits and bobs, actually. I've got some vans and I've got an open wagon and possibly a brake van as well. But not a huge amount.
Mark Wilkes, your name is in the hat.
And Ian the Train says, sorry I'm late.
He loves that tannoy.
He does. Thanks, Gandalf. Well, he's downstairs. He's probably got his face in the biscuit
I
cupboard.
can't blame him, it's hot in this room.
So, just coming into
All
view
those heavy
now,
robes.
you'll see the H2 class from Backman. We featured that,
Roger
actually.
Gregory, your name is in the hat.
We featured that as a bargain buy from TMC a while back, actually. I couldn't believe the price that was down to. It was something like £100 or something like that. And it's just, it was an incredible bargain. And they sold out after I told everybody, understandably, at the price it was at. But that's pulling the Western Region Mark 1s with an SDJR Hornby 6-wheeler bringing up the rear.
SHGP Media, your name is in the hat.
We have also got, what else have we got going around? If I move the angle of the dangle and provide the brew that is true, you will see that at various times there is a Hornby Class 56 doing the ABC shuttle. Also, a Hellion 27 is also on that duty, and a Bachmann Class 25-1. So that brings up all of the locomotives that are running.
3B Rail,
tonight.
your name is in the hat.
Going on the hat. Air Knight says, I picked one up at that price. And Charlie Chimp says, wouldn't it be a gaggle of Gandalfs?
I thought it was a cloister of Gandalfs. Stop it with the Gandalfs.
I think I've broken it.
You've broken the Gandalfs.
Gandalf's not working.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh.
What have you've broken me Gandalfs?
Thanks, Gandalf. And
Richard Swiderski, I have not seen your email yet, I'm sorry to say. Alex Pomeroy, your name is in the hat.
Aaron says, you are a minefield of info. I love that, a minefield.
It's true, if you step on it the wrong way.
Yeah. What's the correct procedure if we should stand
Richard
on a mine?
Swiderski, yeah, I have got your email.
Yes. What is the correct procedure if we stand on a mine? Well, normally just jump 200 feet in the air and scatter yourself over a wide area.
Sorry to say, Ian White, you need to redo question 2.
Question 2 seems to be very troublesome for people.
Yes.
Aaron says, you're a minefield of info. You should bring out a book showing history and pics of your model railway of the relevant loco you're talking about. I just pick up stuff by osmosis.
Now, here's the thing. We are actually considering a new set of videos for later this year.
Are we?
Where Basically, Jen is going to talk about the history of a certain locomotive.
Am I?
Or a certain class of locomotive.
Okay.
While we're using the running footage from the models as background footage, and kind of do it in a style of a documentary, but in a much easier to produce manner.
Okay, fair enough.
Robert Powell, your name is in the hat. There are 5 minutes left, guys.
Nigel Cole says, should that be a mine of information? No, I think I'm a minefield of information.
Yeah, if you step on it the wrong way, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it depends what I've had to eat.
We're going to put the questions out one more time.
So
This-
one last time, Call Me Snake says, Gandalf got electrocuted. That was fairly intense Gandalf action. David Shaw says, evening all.
If you could read the questions out.
Thanks, Gandalf. And Wiven Model Railway says, Amazon have just delivered my 00 Flying Scotsman.
Okay, we're back. Dale Williams from Warbler, your name is in the hat. Jenny, could you read the questions again? Because we can't.
Question 1, where was TMC located when they first started? Question 2, which railway company originated the design for the Rod 280? Question 3, which preserved railway is closest to TMC's current location? Please email the answers to all 3 questions together to zoe.robinson@gmail.com with the subject line Loco Giveaway.
Ewan Potter, your name is in the hat.
So basically, our cut-off point is past.
I will still continue to.
Yeah, if your email arrived before past, it will go in the hat. Might take us a little while to get through them all.
That's why I've asked for past, so I've got a bit more time.
Yeah. So the draw will take place between past and 9 o'clock.
Sarah Davis, your name is in the hat.
So don't forget as well to tickle that like button. I keep looking at the wrong camera. Don't forget to tickle that like button and also share the stream on social media. And if you haven't already done so, then do please consider subscribing to the channel to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. You can also head on over to Patreon and help support the channel to keep making the videos that you want to see, with a number of different tiers of rewards available to suit everybody. Also, you can check out our merch store down below. Sorry, I'm doing the corporate thing here.
Yeah, you're just kind of killing time while I do this.
Just harshing my buzz, man. Nigel Cole says, how big is this hat? It's looking very full, I have to say. You might have wanted to have folded them up a bit
I'm
more.
just putting them into the hat. I will make sure they're folded properly after I've got them all in.
We can't
James
reply
Gilbert,
to every
there you
single
go. You're
person
in the
who's
hat.
asking if we've got their email.
I honestly don't know. Because your names are different to your handles. I would have to check everything. I am just going through them.
We're just
Sorry.
going to get on with this.
It's not the easiest thing to do, actually. Dan Salter, your name is in the hat. Your name is in the hat, Dan Salter.
So, as we come up to... Oh, right, 2030. So,
okay.
At this point, any answers that are dates time-stamped after now will not be counted.
The contest is now closed.
So, the contest that is very kindly, the prize... Well, I say it's not a prize. We've got to be... Can't call it a prize. It's not a prize. It's a giveaway for reasons. TMC has very kindly allowed us to give away the ROD 280 that was featured in last week's review, and they're letting us give this away. We're currently doing the names in the hat, the correct answers to the questions. This means I can now give the answers, and people can either go, huzzah, I got them right, or, aww. So shall I give the answers?
If you want, yes.
So the answer to question 1, and I think pretty much everybody got this, was the TMC was originally located in the Festival Village at the Trafford Centre in Manchester. Indeed, TMC originally stood for Trafford Model Centre and was changed later on when they expanded out to multiple sites. Later on...
Egg Rider, your name is in the hat.
Later on, they moved to Beck Hole near Goathland, which leads us on to the answer to question 3, but I'll give you that in a moment. Question 2. This seems to have caused a fair amount of bother. I was actually quite surprised. I thought this was the easiest of the 3 questions, which just goes to show what I know.
Richard Swiderski, your name is in the hat.
But the originating company that designed the ROD 280 design, it was originally known as the Robinson 8K, later on the Robinson 04 under LNER ownership, and that company was the Great Central Railway, where the Robinson 8K became their principal heavy freight locomotive, and was actually, I believe it drew its design from the Q4, which was an 080 version.
James Moody, your name is in the hat.
The ROD locomotives were subsequently, after wartime usage, I think there was 188, were built in 1918 simply to help British industry get back on its feet. Never actually saw war service. These locomotives were eventually, over a period of time, first hired and then sold to a number of different railway companies. Just do the thingy.
Martin Parkinson, your name is in the hat.
Including the Caledonian Railway hired a number of them. Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway hired some. The London and North Western Railway actually bought a load of them. These did later pass to LMS ownership, but were fairly quickly withdrawn because they were run into the ground and then just binned.
Greg Seven, your name is in the hat.
The Great Western Railway bought a number as well, and these became Swindonised and became, I think it was the 30X.
How do you Swindonise something?
What they tended to do was change some of the fittings to their standard fittings. So things like the safety valve bonnets and a lot of clacks and valves would have been changed
to
what was standard components that they used in all their locomotives.
Callum Dine, your name is in the list.
Essentially, Great Central Railway was the answer we were looking for. A number are even sold overseas. So J&A Brown in Australia bought quite a few of them, about 12, 14, of which 3 do actually survive out in Australia. And 63601, formerly Great Central Railway 11 at 85, is the sole preserved example here in the UK.
Martin Halstead, your name is in the hat.
Air Knight says, I think I've been put in twice.
Who's Air Knight?
Just saying in the chat. James Moore says, guess the locos that are coming to the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. Right. The final question, which leads us back to where TMC are located now. They moved to Beckhole near Goathland and are immediately adjacent to the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. So close, in fact, that you can go to the fence pretty much by the shop and look over down into the cutting and see the trains go by. Big
Andrew T.
hello
Wells,
to New
you're
Junction.
in the list.
Can I just say, New Junction, you arrived a bit too late to, unless you've already secretly put yourself in it to win it, for tonight's Loco giveaway, courtesy of the generosity of TMC, who said, nah, don't bother sending it back, do a giveaway. So really, really kind of them, and that's what this is.
David Rose, your name is in the list.
So just to recap, the answers to the questions were Festival Village, Trafford Centre, although being generous, we would accept just Trafford Centre. Second question, it was the Great Central Railway, and third question, North Yorkshire Moors Railway. So have you got many more
Robert
to put in the
Davies,
hat?
your name is in the list. Yes, I'm only up to 10 to 8 at the moment in terms of when people's emails came in.
Pet Production says they Swindonised brackets quickly scrapped them. Only some were scrapped. A number were refurbished and actually lasted to BR days. The 30XX class, a number of them lasted to BR days, and Backmen have actually done a model of that version.
Harry Charlesworth, your name is in the hat.
Yeah, Leslie Gilpin Rails, absolutely. The GWR ones lasted well into BR days. I believe it was only the ones that went to the LMS that did not last long. Yeah, and also David Scott points out lamp brackets were also changed at Swindon, different mounting direction for the lamps. Harris says, I got question 2 wrong. I think a lot of people did, actually. That posed a lot of issues. I always thought Robinson 8K was quite well known. Certainly, is it the Robinson 04?
Kevin McAllendon, your name is in the list.
Pep Production says, I was just having funny because sometimes Swindle were quick to scrap things that should have been preserved. Yeah, was it Iron Duke? There was or was it North Star? One of the broad gauge locomotive that was preserved, and then they just broke it up for scrap anyway. Leslie Gilpin Railway says, so LMS ones went to the LNER, didn't they? Swindle added an external top thing. I believe the LMS ones would just run until they needed a general overhaul and then scrapped.
Wow. Dave Perkins, your name is in the list.
Brad Mundo says, I know the Keighley Worth Valley Railway is getting a Class 14 and a pair of HSTs for the diesel Gallo. Ped Productions says, I think it was Iron Duke. Stanley was doing a bit of spring cleaning. Yeah, it was a great shame because that was actually an original broad gauge locomotive. Would it have been? How many original broad gauge locomotives do actually survive? I'm not talking about replicas, but I've a feeling there's only one I'm thinking of. There was an industrial locomotive that has somehow survived. Leslie Gilpin Railway says a certain W. Stanio was works manager who organised a lot of scrapping at Swindon. 1968 Concord says, keep New Junction happy. He's now with a Curascale. Some great models now, please, Richard. I think it's Fran that you need to speak to. Fran always seemed to be the one who controlled the... New Junction says, I just make the teas, Concord, yeah.
Simon Paul, your name is in the list.
I'll have milk, no sugar, thanks.
I'm doing these, you'll have to wait.
Ben Tullett says the experimental 040 Holden tank engine Hornby 2 was scrapped in real life by the GWR. Warbler Productions, yeah, okay. It's like, welcome to the inner circle of pedantry. We have cookies.
Paul Butts, your name is in the list.
The Irish steam engines are broad gauge, 5 foot 3 inch. Now we're talking about the 7 foot quarter inch. Peb Productions Great Bear was rebuilt, which really was code for quickly scrapping and giving a couple of pieces to a new logo. In effect, it was just the nameplates. What's wrong?
It just keeps going. I'm going to have to go and get some more paper.
We're nearly out of paper here, so how many have we? Has this honestly been the best subscribed competition we've ever had?
Yeah.
This is better than when we gave away the little Hornby pug. I was worried we weren't going to get many...
David Wynn, your name is in the hat. I used up an entire notebook on that one.
Wow.
I remember that.
Jennifer Horton says there are 3 7-foot locos. Tiny at Buckfastleigh, that's the one I was thinking of. And 2 dock tanks in the Azore Islands that had the same gauge. Interesting. Flymo Chairman 1 says maybe Fran will let the Class
Caroline
37
Rogers,
buyers
in the
know
house.
what's going on. I don't know what is going on. I believe the first batch is sold out, and the second batch are imminent. I'm sure that Richard Watson, aka New Junction, can confirm or deny
Rick
that.
Morley, your name is in the hat. Right.
Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says also any future answers been there. Are you checking that you're not putting people's names in twice?
I'm trying to. This is how many we got so far. That's an entire Stetson full.
Yeah,
Seriously.
So that is...
I've got to now go and get the rest of the papers to go in.
So
This is why I asked to stop at 12:30.
you might want to get like a big mixing bowl from downstairs. I'm mindful...
We don't have one. You used it for changing the oil. I don't have a mixing bowl. I've got to get one.
Right, I'm just going to
That's
show...
why you haven't had any apple crumbles. Now, can you not do that, Jen? What
Well, I'm mindful...
You're dropping them on the floor.
Oh, leave me alone.
I'm doing this professionally. You're
I
not
was
gonna...
mixing them. I was helping.
Jen,
I was helping.
check round you, because you dropped one, I'm sure.
I picked it up.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
just make sure.
I picked it up.
Alright. I got her to admit that she dropped one.
Brad Monday says, it's my first and probably last time catching the stream live thanks to starting a new job on Thursday. Charlie Chimp asks, are some entrants actually AI bots? I don't know. Right, anyway. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Acura Scale as well also announced that Acura Scale exclusive version of the Suburban coach, the Mark 1 Suburbans, which were actually, when we went and filmed at the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, we actually got to ride in an actual preserved BR Mark 1 Suburban coach. And I have to say, I really like them. Now, there's no corridor. If you need the loo, tough. I like the privacy of the compartments. You're right.
Yeah.
So I actually quite like the Mark 1 Suburbans, in preference to the regular Mark 1s. You just got to make sure you're not desperate for a wee-wee before you get on them.
Oh, those privatised coaches.
The ones with the compartment that ran all the way from one side to the other.
They were wonderful. So much more comfortable than the modern one.
Yeah. But I like the privacy, because there was 3 of us in that compartment, and it was great. Plus, you got access to the windows on both sides.
Yes.
You didn't have people sort of shouting, "My lords!" as they flailed about out the window, blocking everybody's view. Twistleton 1944 GWR says there are 2 broad gauge replicas at Didcot. Was cleaning them a couple of months ago. Aha. And Leslie Gilpin Railway says the first Azores broad gauge loco was actually originally at Holyhead. Oh, of course, the Holyhead Breakwater Railway. Beverage of choice at the moment is Dr. Pepper Zero.
So misunderstood.
Yeah, Charlie Chip.
Lee Holden, you're in the hat.
I haven't seen Iron Horse Railways for a little while. Let me see.
No, I haven't heard. Maybe he's out.
He is
Reconnection success.
changed that.
I thought I had. It's done it again.
Done what?
Dropped out again. I'll tell you now. We're moving from Virgin. I don't care anymore. I am angry with them.
Where did it say
it dropped? I'm looking at the bloody screen.
So
again,
it went
I can
red.
see it.
Yeah,
Joe Smith, you're in the hat.
And this is not actually a heat thing, because we've got an actual fan blasting cold air at the computer, so we can now rule that out. And 57305 Northern Princess, great to see you. Haven't seen you chirp up in the chat, so you're going to get a Gandalf. Thanks, Gandalf. And
Iron Horse, you're in the list.
Oh.
So he is here.
He is here. He's lurking. 57305 Northern Princess says, talking of Holyhead Breakwater, I long for a model of 01001 and 01002. Me too. The Class 01 Shunter, I believe now, is the final...
Paul Woods, you're in the list.
It's the final BR diesel class that's never been modelled, if you don't count the diesel electric Class 74. We've got the Class 02 forthcoming from Hellion, and I got a sneaky suspicion that there's got to be a Class 06 on the way. That is the obvious choice.
Peter Jackson, you're in the list.
Arguably, a Class 06 is more obvious than an 02, which leads me to suspect, and I don't know anything, I'm merely guessing and surmising here. Nobody's given me any inside information. But I suspect that if the 02 is successful, then Hellion will have already started preliminary work on the Class 06 diesel shunter. But the 01 is an interesting one, a number preserved. There were some industrial variants of them. And they were the longest lasting BR locomotives
Ian
to
White, you're in the
remain
list.
in BR black with circling lion. Aside from, I think, some at least one Class 08, they were actually had tops numbers applied to the remaining 2, still in their original BR black with cycling lion.
Gordon Henning, you're in the list.
01002. Now, for a long time, I could find no confirmation that 01002 had actually been renumbered until I found a website where they'd got access in the shed because 01002 was stripped for parts to keep number
Steve
one
Ball,
going.
you're in the hat.
From pretty much the point at which they would have been renumbered in tops.
How do you just know all this stuff?
I just do. So I did surmise that maybe it never got renumbered, but I saw a photograph taken in the shed up close showing the tops number on 01002. But it's debateful whether it ever actually moved under its own power with that number applied.
George Attaway, your name is in the hat. I'm burning up here.
It is warm up here.
It does feel like right near the end of this show, we're doing it more.
I love that. Russell Benton says, the thing is, I never know whether it's your virgin or my virgin causing the problem. And Richard Swiderski says, Jenny Kirk, the human Google. I'm slightly autistic, so I absorb all this information. And it's not just about railways. Never play Trivial Pursuit.
Never play any game against her. She's a bugger. B Bell, your name is in the list. Oh, speaking of games, Jen, what's coming up on JK2?
We're going to be doing a live stream of playing the computer game Ticket to Ride, which is a railway-based board game, but you can get it through Good Old Games.
Sure, I've already had this one.
Which
David
one?
Rose. Sure.
Huh. Well, you're out of luck if you're going to find people in there.
That's the problem. I
It's a
just
shame
don't know.
Yeah. It's one of the things that. Robert Steers MD says better late than never. That's a Gandalf moment.
David Rose, your name is in the hat.
Thanks, Gandalf. And great to see you, Robert Steers MD. Better late than never. Greetings from Montana, from Billings, Montana. Billings is the state capital of Montana, is it? Is it? It's not something
I believe it is.
It's not something they bother teaching us here in the UK. It's not really.
We're aware that America exists.
Yes, we know of it. The extent of our
James
geographical.
Moody, your name is in the hat.
The extent of our geographical knowledge of America usually comes from having played Railroad Tycoon in the 1990s.
Well, that's not true. I did have in geography. We did an entire term on American geography.
We didn't.
I did.
Peb Production says they don't bother teaching us that in the US either. Oh, the only state capital to know is that Tallahassee is the state capital of Florida. Columbus
is it?
I think so.
Wow.
Columbus is the state capital of Ohio.
Dear
Oh,
Shaw, your name is in the
Helena!
hat.
Eddie Papat says Helena is the capital of Montana.
There you go. Well, now you know where Montana is because you played Ticket to Ride.
Yeah. Do you think Montana Huron knows that's where she is? I'm
sure I've...
And SHGP Media says, I know my states from battleship names. There's always like 2 or 3, which, when you sit there and you think,
Okay,
right...
that's it. That's all of them.
So
I'm now checking the junk just to make sure.
It's like whenever I sit there and I try and actually work out if I can name every American state, just because sometimes I do weird shit like that. And I always find there's like a couple that I always forget, like Delaware. Delaware's that one that gets you every time when you're trying to name all 50 states.
It wouldn't if you're trying to start a business in America. That's where most businesses are.
It's really exciting as well. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
Where to put the... Oh, there it is. The lid of the pen is going on. That is the end. So now I'm going to try and fold these a little bit more so that they fit in.
Interesting. Robert Steers MD says pronounced Helena. Helena. It's not Helena, it's Helena.
As in handbasket.
And interestingly enough, when we do our live stream of Ticket to Ride, that is one of the pivotal cities that is on the map for building routes through and to.
It's a big hub.
Yeah, Leslie Gabaro says Salem, Oregon, Olympia, Washington.
Salem? You mean Salem?
Yeah, that too. Bismarck, North Dakota, I know that one.
Yes, as in Otto-von.
Yeah, I always get Rhode Island, Robert Davies. But no, for some reason, Delaware is always the one that I have a brain freeze on. Train spotter James Moore asks, are you going to do some more heritage railways? Yes, we are.
Oh, yes.
We
enjoy
planning.
them too much to not.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm collecting bears.
Yeah. Sacramento, California, says Santec. And Dover, Delaware, says Eddie Papa. So Dover. Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like, you've got to remember, I mean, like, Americans will be like, huh? But when we hear place names that are like just like little towns over here.
Dover is not a little town. It's a major port on one of the
it's not that
it's
big
one
a
of the
conurbation.
busiest areas in
It may be a
Britain.
busy port, but it's not that big a conurbation. It's really weird to hear their names, but in America, like Birmingham, Alabama. Well, we've got our own Birmingham. We've got the original.
And it would not fit in Alabama.
Boston is a place in Lincolnshire, so it's really weird. Where it's
Did
like
you know that heaven is a place on earth?
No, Boston, Massachusetts is named after Boston and Lincolnshire. Washington. Can I just say, the original Washington is a dump in the northeast.
If you ever see American tourists coming over to Britain to go and visit the original Washington, and wait until you see their faces when they leave.
And can I just ask Americans, do you find it odd as well that Arkansas is pronounced Arkansas and not Arkansas when you've also got Kansas? So you've got Kansas, and then you've got Arkansas, but Arkansas
Which is hilarious.
spelled Arkansas.
Which is hilarious when you hear it pronounced the way Jen's just done, because Kev or Sally or Arkansas just means that
Arkansas.
our child called Kelly, Sam, or Kansas.
I like
from a
that.
northern point of view.
Can I just say, the frustrated modeler says, can confirm that about Washington, Tyne and Weir.
Yep. The only good thing about Washington in the UK is that there's a very nice wildflower park.
Yeah, SHGP Media says, I've cycled through Washington quickly. And Zantek says, Kansas City isn't in Kansas.
I know, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's two Kansas City. That really annoys me as well. It's like, guys, come on, you can't double up like this. It just confuses people.
Yeah,
and
Russell-
that's our job.
Yeah, Larry Rogers says, yes, I believe that. I'm assuming that that's to do with why is Arkansas pronounced Arkansas, but Kansas is pronounced Kansas. Apparently there's two Kansas cities.
I've just said that.
Oh! Raymond Legg says, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter.
Happy birthday to you.
Right,
Are we going to be long?
We're going to be pulling a bit late because I am still making sure all of these will fit into the hat.
Interesting.
Turning over and over.
Robert Steers MD says, people from Kansas call it Arkansas. People from everywhere else call it Arkansas. And Leslie Gilpin Rowe says, Springfield is a popular name in the USA. I think every state has got a Springfield.
Which is why it's called that for The Simpsons.
Yeah, so it could be anywhere.
What's going Arkansas is the butt end of Kansas, says my friend from Little Rock. Love it. So, here's the question. Which one's your Essex?
Essex.
I think their version of Essex is New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
I'd love it to be confirmed.
I've got to be careful. There'll be people in from both Essex and New Jersey going, what?
Yeah, but when you're from there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, as they say, the best thing to come out of Essex was the A13. There's also a New York in North Tyneside. And funnily enough, the place that always tickled me in the northeast of England, I have no idea if it has a correspondingly named place in America, but there's a place called Pitymee, just north of Durham.
Yes, it's actually Petit Mer. It's from the Norman invasion. They thought it was the lake there was a little sea, so Petit Mer.
Oh, but it's...
But now we call it Petit Me because there's no Geordie gonna speak French.
No, wait, hey, man. Oh, is there somebody else's birthday? Oh yeah, call Call me Snake, says Jersey Shore. Yeah, we thought as much.
Which is weird because in the UK version it's Geordie Shore.
Egg
Like,
Rider.
we're not New Jersey.
Egg Rider says there's a Baghdad in Florida, not far from Geneva. Oh, that's handy.
That's it's amazing where all these names are from. America really is a melting pot.
It is, yeah. You've got a mix of place names, not just from the UK, but from all over the rest of Europe, because there's a lot of immigrants went over there.
That's not in Europe.
No, but I'm just saying a lot of immigrants went over there and tended to take the place names with them. And it's interesting in Australia as well. You've got New South Wales, Newcastle, Melbourne as well. Can I just say there's a place in Derbyshire called Melbourne, and I suspect that might be where the name comes from. Although it's only a little village in Derbyshire, but it's quite a big place in Australia.
Yeah, I've heard it's a big deal down under.
Leslie Gilpin Rowe says there's a Madras, Oregon. Well, it's spelt Madras, as in the curry, Oregon.
Wow.
Pronounced Madras, not Madras. Trains, Kits, etc. says we have Wangaratta, colloquially known simply as Wang.
Nothing wrong with that. We have some strange abbreviations as well. Oxfordshire it's an abbreviation for postcodes as Oxen.
Yeah.
Just
And
weird.
interesting. 57305 Northern Princess says the original Hollywood is just outside Solihull. Sue at Pudham Junction says Essex girl, born and bred, but never had any white stilettos.
Good.
I thought it was the ones with the clear heels. Yeah.
No, the clear heels came later. They were nasty.
Nasty. And
It's for those people who think white heels are too upmarket, too posh.
actually, yeah, Stanover Model Railway. Totally agree with you. Essex isn't all that bad. Don't believe all
Most
the trashy
things aren't all
TV
that
shows about it. Besides which, the good Captain Static himself originally comes from there. Yeah, it's a bit like
Amstrad comes from Essex.
It's a bit like the northeast. It's not Biker Grove.
No, because for a start, if you took an actual video camera into biking, you wouldn't come out with it.
My dad.
Right, I have now got them all folded heavily down, so
Yeah,
they're all in
so-
there. Give it a good shake.
And they've been all mixed up. So this is the fine. I know we're running a little bit late now, but
It's
this
the
is.
final train troll.
So what I'm going to do. Actually, I've got a really interesting idea.
What?
I'm going to pick 3 out, but not open them up. Line them all up, and then we're going to ask left, middle, or right.
Okay. Why not just pick a name? Because we're over time.
Okay, I've just picked a name. So I have now picked one out of the hat, and this is for the wonderful ROD 280, courtesy of TMC. If you don't win one, then they have them on offer at the moment for a few pennies over £116. Post free in the UK, because all orders over £100 are post free, with free value weathering available to order at the time of purchase. So if you don't get one, you can still get it at a great price.
Here we go.
One lucky winner.
Drum roll, please.
Mark Wilkes.
Mark Wilkes.
Mark Wilkes, come on down. The price is right.
There you
So,
go.
Mark Wilkes, you have won the ROD 280. So,
Well done. I
I've
will
even
now-
got the packaging ready for it.
I will now make sure that I get your
Lots of bubble wrap. It will
email
be-
address.
So, we're now contacting Mark Wilkes to ascertain.
Contacting Mark Wilkes.
I'm actually. I'm putting it in the box, ready to be posted. So there we go. Isn't this is great? Great, this isn't it? So there, yeah, we have a lucky winner, Mark Wilkes. Robert Davies is saying Zantec. Is that Zantec?
I believe it is.
So Zantec, I believe, is Mark Wilkes. Is Zantec says, "Holy crap! Shock look." So, you're in America, aren't you? So is it going to America?
I don't know. I'll find out.
So there we are. We put it in the box. We will be posting that over the next couple of days. But well done to you, and a big thank you to TMC. And for all those people that go, "Oh, I never win anything," I bet you Zantec was in that camp before they won as well. So, congratulations. Sarah Davis says, no, Zantec is in Stoke. Robert Davis is Stoke. Right, so Zantec is in Stoke. I thought you were in America. All right, well, that's a bit easier on the postage. So, congratulations. And thank you, everybody who took part. Now, we're going to be bailing. I've got work early in the morning.
Jerry BVR says, I'm not disappointed, I'm just mad.
And Martin Parkinson says, Gott in Himmel, I'm going to have to buy one with my own money now. Worthington Model Railway says, need a mortgage to post to the USA.
My goodness,
we would have done that, and actually, there was, I think the first person to get the answers correct Wamcock says, just throw it over the wall, Jenny. And David Shaw says, actually, it's come out as tickle the like button, please. But no, tickle the like button. Don't forget to, if you haven't already done so, do please tickle the like button. Share the video to social media.
Train Kid says, condolences on being in Stoke.
Best thing to come out of Stoke, the A500.
How do you just know all the roads?
Because I travel a lot.
My goodness. Guys, it's been a great evening. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Absolutely. It's been great to have your company. Thanks for joining us. And a big thank you to TMC. Don't forget as well, you can also head on over to Patreon and help support the channel to keep making the videos that you want to see. And we've got all our fabulous merch down below. And I think we need to suggest to Dapol, say, have you thought about a t-shirt that says the answer is Dapol and just sell it?
Tell them, get on.
Either that, they might just say, fill your boots, make one.
Hey, I'll do it. If they don't want him, I will.
Michael Lane says, see you next week. Take care, everybody. Happy modelling. Have a great evening. Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2105 service to Bolton Trinity Road. Let's go there tonight. Stopping at Grove Street Road, Grove Street Yard even, Eindhoven, Minnes Tatus, Tatus Newarth, that unnamed layout, somewhere else, Pittsburgh somehow, and then on to Bolton Trinity Road. That's the 2105 service to Bolton Trinity Road. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Cup. Good night.
Good night. Oh, incidentally, there appears to be a tumble of clowns on the layout.
I didn't even consider how many clowns must be in that locomotive, considering how many got in that car.
I don't know, but the door looks awfully prone to falling off.
Rest in peace, birthday song. Happy birthday
to you.
Squashed
You live in a zoo.
Bread and butter and
threw you off. Happy birthday to you.
I've got to put away all of those, put in the bin all those names now.
Yeah, but it's alright, we haven't got any personal details.
I know, I've just got to delete everything.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, look, good night, everybody. Farmer Chairman wants says Trafford Centre, Robinson,
4K, even not a 4X, and I can't remember.
8K, Robinson 8K, and North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, Brad Mundo says, shout out to Dapol, best thing out of Stoke.